Welcome to True Crime Shadows, where the blackest corners of human nature bleed into the light. Tonight, we plunge into the rain-soaked alleys of Newport, Oregon, December 2001. The howling winds of Yaquina Bay carry a secret too heavy to sink. A family of 4 is swallowed by the night, and a man with a liar's charm, Christian Longo, swears he's innocent. Yet, in the fog's cold embrace, the truth lurks, sharp as a knife and red as blood. Newport, Oregon, December 2001. Rain slashes the cobblestone streets like silver daggers. Yaquina Bay's waves roar in the dark, as if choking on a secret. In this small coastal town, where the air reeks of salt and burnt wood, a family of 4 vanishes into the night. MaryJane Longo, 34, her brown hair still carrying the scent of fresh-baked bread, and her 3 children, Zachary, 4, with a mischievous giggle and a love for chasing seagulls. Sadie, 3, never letting go of her ragdoll, and Madison, 2, just learning to say mama. Disappear from their cramped apartment on Silent Street. Christian Longo, 27, stands in the police station, his wet wool coat dripping, a cigarette trembling in his fingers. His voice, hollow as a grave, murmurs, "I came home, and they were gone. Someone took them." But his icy eyes, sharp as shattered glass, whisper a different tale. Newport holds its breath, the stench of blood lingering beneath the rain. December 19th, dawn. A fisherman, hands calloused and cracked, spots a plastic bag bobbing in Yaquina Bay's shallow waters. Inside is Zachary, his tiny fists clenched, as if he fought until the end. Rope marks scar his neck like a sinister signature. 3 days later, December 22nd, Sadie is found, her hands and feet bound with a shoelace, her mother's grey scarf knotted around her throat like a noose. December 27th, under relentless rain, a heavy suitcase surfaces from the bay. MaryJane and Madison are inside, bound with concrete blocks. MaryJane's floral dress, still faintly smelling of soap, clings to her. Madison's tiny fingers, curled as if reaching for her mother, are still. Police, in mud-caked boots and with hearts sinking, comb the scene. No fingerprints, no tracks, just the icy water and a silence that deafens. Who is Christian Longo? A man with slicked back hair, a smile that freezes blood, and a past that swallows like a swamp. Raised in a Michigan home where his parents' screams mixed with the winter wind, he was always off. A former classmate recalls, "He was weird. I stole his bag once and he just laughed and said, 'You'll see who I am someday.'" In his 20s, he married MaryJane, a gentle woman who thought she could save him. But Longo was a con man, forged checks, petty thefts, debts that choked his family like a noose. MaryJane saw through his lies in the end. Her diary, later found in a bedroom closet, read, "I can't go on. Christian isn't the man I loved. I have to save the kids." On the night of December 17th, she told him she was leaving and would expose his scams to the police. Longo just smiled, like it was all a game. Neighbors tell a darker story. One whispers, "I saw him that night, dragging a heavy suitcase down the stairs." Another murmurs, "His eyes were empty. I saw a woman with a grey scarf near him, silent, like a shadow." Longo tells police, "MaryJane killed the kids. I just hid the bodies." But his story cracks, suitcase, debts, and blood on his hands. In interrogation, Longo drops a chilling claim. "It wasn't me. That woman mesmerized me." He says a mysterious woman with a grey scarf, first met in a dimly lit Newport diner, seized his mind. Her eyes were like black wells, piercing my soul. Her voice whispered in my head, "If you erase your family, you'll be free." I saw her again in Cancun, under moonlight, her scarf fluttering in the breeze. Police scoff, but clues deepen the mystery. In the Longo apartment, a sketch is found in MaryJane's diary. A woman with a grey scarf, hollow eyes, and a smile that promises death. Scrawled beneath it, "Who is she? Why is she always with Christian? Be careful." In a locked wooden box under the bed, police find a blood-stained scrap of grey fabric, reeking of iron. Lab tests confirm it's blood, but whose? MaryJane's, or a woman never found? Before his arrest, a letter arrives at a Cancun newspaper, scrawled in black ink with a trembling hand. "I'm not Christian Longo. My family was taken. Check the suitcase in the bay. That woman knows everything." The letter's details: concrete blocks, the grey scarf, the rope marks on the children's necks, could only be known by the killer. Police in Newport freeze. The lead detective, cigarette unlit in his hand, mutters, "This guy's playing us, or someone in the shadows is pulling the strings." In Longo's suitcase in Mexico, a folded grey scarf is found, stained with a red mark the lab confirms as blood. But whose blood? MaryJane's? Or the ghost of a woman who vanished? The truth slices through Newport like a blade. Longo killed his family to bury his secrets. That night, the apartment still smelled of MaryJane's burnt fish stew, cooked for the kids. Zachary and Sadie were smothered in their sleep, Sadie's ragdoll limp beside her, its button eyes witnessing it all. MaryJane, pleading for her children, was silenced under a pillow, her wedding ring glinting on her finger. Madison, the youngest, was sealed in the suitcase, clutching her pink blanket, now soaked and heavy. Longo, with lifeless eyes, tied the suitcase with concrete blocks and cast it into the bay's darkness. His motive? Crippling debts, a sick narcissism, and fear of MaryJane exposing his lies. He wanted to rewrite his story, a mysterious figure in the headlines, not a broke failure. MaryJane was a simple woman who loved Longo, but her love became her cage. Her friend says, she kept saying he'd change, but she saw the monster too late. Her diary read, "I can't take it anymore. The kids deserve freedom." That night, she told Longo she'd leave and tell the police everything. The apartment still smelled of the fresh bread she'd baked that morning. January 2002, Longo is caught in Cancun. In his 2003 trial, he's convicted of 4 counts of murder, sentenced to death. He still insists, "That woman made me do it." But the blood-stained grey scarf in his suitcase tells another story. Was there a woman in the shadows? Or just another of his lies? Newport is no longer the quiet town it was. Yaquina Bay's waves whisper of a family drowned in a suitcase. Locals say a shadow with a grey scarf haunts the shore at night. A fisherman swears he heard a voice murmur, "The truth is in the water." Is it MaryJane's ghost seeking justice? Or the shadow of a woman who mesmerized Longo, still free? Newport never answers.